The Dark Side of Hollywood, Part 17, The Incident at the Restaurant, written by the Prowler. It's a cool, crisp Hollywood night. The atmosphere is alive, and the stars are out. As a matter of fact, there's two in particular inside the black Cadillac limo we see right below us. They're on their way to Musso's and Frank's Bar and Grill, the famous Hollywood hangout to the stars. The two stars we have our eyes on this evening are two of the biggest stars in all of Hollywood and two of the biggest crooners of their era, Sonny Santillo and Johnny Copeland. Each are enjoying successful careers at the moment. The decade isn't even halfway through, and already the 60s belong to them. You can't turn on your television sets and not see them pop up somewhere, either on a variety show, late-night talk show, or even Sonny Santillo's very own weekly variety show, which airs every Thursday at 8. And you most certainly can't get into your car and not hear one of their songs when you turn on the radio. These gentlemen are on a meteoric rise, even a career rejuvenation, you might say, especially Johnny Copeland, who enjoyed fame dating all the way back to the 40s as a big band singer, then as a successful solo artist and sometime actor. But his career soon began to wane as he started to lose his famously known singing voice. But that's all in the past. His voice is back, and he is as popular as ever. So you might be asking yourself, what are these two superstars doing out and about on this beautiful late Hollywood night? Well, it's Johnny Copeland's birthday, and after a formal birthday dinner party, which was attended by several of his notable Hollywood friends, such as Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, and Jimmy Stewart, to name a few. The two gentlemen now seek their entertainment elsewhere. Now the dinner party was long, a few hours at least, and the boys are already quite liquored up. On a side note, Johnny Copeland is known to have quite the temper. It's gotten him in trouble often, but it's even worse when he's been drinking. But not to worry, the two aren't traveling alone. Besides the driver they have manning the limo, there's also Rocky DiGiacomo, Mr. Copeland's friend and sometime bodyguard. Some might call Rocky a hanger-on, but he is rumored to have mob ties, and you can't get close to Mr. Copeland without having to get through Rocky first. I'm sure the evening will end just fine. Right? Right. We now arrive at our destination, our nightcap for the boys at Musso and Frank's Bar and Grill. The three enter the bar laughing up a storm after a joke Sonny just told, while also trying to keep their balance as they try to walk to their reserved booth, which was located in the back left corner. They sit down and order Jack and Cokes all around, heavy on the Jack, little on the Coke, and keep it flowing. Since it's late, there aren't too many people inside the bar. Besides the staff, there is one patron sitting at the bar top and two other gentlemen sitting at a booth enjoying a late meal. Back over at Johnny and Sonny's table, the drinks are flowing, and their jokes and laughter can be heard throughout the room. And let's just say, some of the jokes are off-color and can be construed as very off-putting. This goes on for almost an hour, and now the three are properly drunk. They're getting louder and louder, and the jokes more offensive. The two men who were sitting next to them, trying to enjoy their dinner, were getting agitated at this point, and one of the men decided to speak up. These two men aren't just ordinary citizens either. One man is an executive at one of the major movie studios, and the other, the president of the most popular food brand company of the time. His name, Milo Thurman, and he's the one who spoke up. He yells at the three to quiet down, that not everyone in the room wants or needs to hear their conversation, especially the offensive jokes. He told them he knew who they were, and just because they were celebrities didn't give them the right to act like mindless jackasses. Well, this sent Johnny Copeland into a rage. Remember, I told you earlier of his reputation for being a hothead, and he's extremely intoxicated at this point. Not a good combination. Rocky quickly grabbed a hold of Johnny and held him back, while the more mellow of the famous friendly duo, Sonny Santillo, tried talking Johnny down. Well, it finally seemed like they were getting Mr. Copeland calmed. Mr. Thurman muttered something under his breath. Now, no one for certain knows what was said, but it caused Mr. Copeland to become enraged again, and he believed that Mr. Thurman muttered a racial slur referring to his Italian heritage. Johnny could not be contained the second time around. Before they grab a hold of him, he leapt over the table and punched Mr. Thurman right across the jaw, knocking him to the ground. Then he proceeded to give him a couple of kicks to the face, before finishing him with an empty glass smashed on top of his head. Rocky and Sonny and a couple of the bar's staff were able to restrain Johnny before any further damage was done. Sonny then led Johnny out of the restaurant before the press and police arrived, waiting in the limo while Rocky talked to the staff members, securing their silence with intimidation and money. Mr. Thurman was still inside, unconscious, laying on the ground in the middle of the restaurant, being attended to by his friend. The events after are not known clearly, just an incoherent mix of beliefs and innuendo. By the time the police arrived, Sonny, Johnny, and Rocky were long gone, and thanks to the bribery, there was no trace that they were even there that night. The story takes a sinister turn, however, because when the police are led inside the restaurant by the staff to check on the status of Mr. Thurman, they find him on the floor, not lying unconscious, but dead, alongside his friend, both men with their throats cut. No one had seen a thing. No one had heard anything. The staff were all outside, waiting for the police to arrive. The police were, of course, caught off guard. They weren't expecting to walk into a murder scene. They were called to investigate a drunken disturbance. Because of the staff being bribed and intimidated by Rocky, there was no mention of Mr. Copeland's involvement in the assault of Mr. Thurman. Instead, the staff said Mr. Thurman got into an altercation with two men they had never seen before. Insults were thrown. Then they assaulted Mr. Thurman and left before the police arrived. They had no idea how Mr. Thurman and his friend died, or who killed them, because when they left them to go outside and wait for the police, Mr. Thurman was unconscious but alive, and his friend was alive and attending his injuries. They speculated that maybe the men who assaulted him came back and snuck through the back service entrance and finished them off. Now you might be thinking, once everyone walked in and found that Mr. Thurman and his friend had been killed, that it would cause the staff to speak up and tell the truth. But it was the opposite. It only made them more fearful. So this was the story they stuck with. and all the police had to work with, and nothing was made of the murders. That is, until one lone member of the staff, years later, and in advanced age, spoke up and told the truth. He told of Mr. Copeland's involvement, and that he was the one who assaulted Mr. Thurman. The police could do nothing about it at this point. They were just rumors. There was no evidence that Mr. Copeland was even there, because of the staff's cover-up, including himself, which he helped facilitate all these years. Now he wants to come forward all these years later and tell the truth. His story simply wasn't believable. Plus, it still didn't answer who murdered the two men, because the staff member only witnessed the assault, nothing more. The rumors, of course, claim on that night, after the three men were seen driving away, they pulled around to the back of the restaurant, and either Johnny Copeland snuck back in and killed the two men, or just his bodyguard Rocky, or even both of them, while Sonny waited in the car. These, of course, are just rumors. No one will ever know what truly happened. The one thing I do know is this. If you're looking to have a relaxing meal, be careful where you have it, because it might be your last on the dark side of Hollywood. I would like to give a heartfelt thank you to the special friends of the channel for your overwhelming generosity. If you would like to support the channel, the link is below in the description. Also, please send me your stories and poems to duchessofdarkness.27@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram at duchess.ofdarkness and Twitter at duchessofdark_N2. I want to thank all my listeners for your kindness, your encouragement, and your support. It means the world to me. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.